Hello, and welcome to another edition of All Around Town. My name is Roger Wilson, and I'm the Director of Government Affairs for Frederick County Government. Today's guest is the Mayor of Thurmont, John Kennard. How are you doing?
Doing great, Roger. It's a pleasure to be here as always.
Good. Welcome again to the show. I think this is
our third time.
The third time?
Yes.
Okay. Third time is a charm.
It is, absolutely.
All right. So what's going on in Thurmont?
We just had local elections. We re-elected two existing commissioners. Bill Buer and Wes Hamrick were re-elected to another 4-year term. We had 5 candidates this year around. We had the candidates were Elliot Jones,
Okay.
Sabrina Massette, and Ken Oland. So we had a 5-candidate race, which is unusual for us.
Okay. And what was the voter turnout?
Voter turnout was about 11%.
11%?
Which is, it's usually like 9 or 10%. We've seen it as high as 25%, which is really not very many people. It's a very small percentage show up to vote. I wish it was 50 or 60%, but it never is.
Okay. And this is a 4-year term?
4-year term, that's correct.
All right. Well, elections come around, and we hope for the best for our civic engagement and people coming out to vote.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens next time. When is the next election in Thurmont?
Next election will be in 2 years.
2 years?
That is the mayor and 2 other commissioners.
Okay.
Positions will be up.
So it's staggered.
Yes, we have staggered every 2 years. We have 2-year commissioners, then the next 2 years is 2 commissioners and the mayor, which is something I like. A lot of people like to see a clean slate.
Okay.
I prefer to see some continuity and some carryover with people that are familiar with what's been going on. But that's 2 different sides to the argument.
What's the population of Thurmont?
6,600 right now.
Have you seen a lot of growth in the...
Not a lot of growth, no. We've had, since the downturn of the housing market 10 or 12 years ago,
Sure.
we've only had about 25, or I'd say maybe 30 new homes built in Thurmont, and the majority of those were built in the last 3 years. So we've been very stagnant on growth. We have a lot of sales of houses and turnover of existing houses, but no growth to speak of.
No growth to speak of. Do you foresee any
I
housing
do.
developments?
We're seeing a couple subdivisions coming forth right now, little infill subdivisions, of the 30 to 35 homes, some in that area, and I think one or 2 of those will get started here shortly, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I've heard it described by younger people that Thurmont is a kind of a destination, a place to go. What are the activities that go on in Thurmont?
There's all kinds of activities. We have a lot of community activities. We just had Halloween in the park. We had Color Fest, which is one of the largest craft shows in the East Coast. We had 50,000 people each day on Saturday and Sunday come to Thurmont for Color Fest.
Wow.
And we have a lot of programs. We're just getting ready to start our winter program, which is Christmas to Thurmont. But other than that, we have fantastic hiking, biking, driving. We have all kinds of outdoor sports. We just have all kinds of activities for young people to do in Thurmont. And Thurmont's a nice, quiet town, good place to raise your kids. I raised our 4 children there, and it's a nice little community. Mm-hmm. We're very proud of it.
You have a Main Street program there.
That's right. We have a Main Street downtown. We've had that probably for 15 years, I'm going to say at least, and it's been very beneficial to us. We've received a lot of grants, and a lot of improvements have come through being a Main Street community. So it's a great program, very helpful to us.
Good. And so typically, when are your town meetings?
Our town meetings are every Tuesday night.
Every Tuesday.
At 7 o'clock, with the exception of the month of July.
Okay.
In the month of July, we have 1 meeting. We're required by our charter to have 1 meeting a month. So in July, we take a little bit of a break and we have 1 meeting. But people often say to me, we have meetings once a month. What do you do every week? I said, we're very busy every single week. We have topics to discuss. And if we don't have a meeting. But typically, we have a meeting every Tuesday evening.
Mm-hmm. And do you get a lot of participation? Or?
We get 4 or 5 people come out to the meetings. And now last week we had a presentation. We had about 40 people there. But they only come out for special presentations. But we have a surprising number of people at home that watch. The next day I get phone calls from people say they watch the meeting and have comments about this or that or something else. So a lot of people pay attention to our meetings via the live broadcast. Or even we have streaming video you can go back and watch, so people watch that too.
Mm-hmm. What does Thurmont look like 10 years from now?
A nice, quiet little town, just the way it is now, maybe with an extra 50 or 60 houses, maybe, if we're lucky.
Yeah. Yes. And tell me about the restaurants and places.
We have great restaurants. We have Country Kitchen downtown, family-owned restaurant. The The Rodnair family owns it. Great little facility. We have the Mountain Gate. Mountain Gate's a large restaurant with buffet and has large dining capacity. We have great fast food restaurants, McDonald's, Burger King, Roy Rogers, Wendy's. We have the Shamrock on Route 15 North, which isn't in Thurmont, but we count as part of Thurmont. The Fitzgeralds are a great Thurmont family, great place to dine. And we have 2 or 3 great pizza parlors in Thurmont too, Rocky's and Fratelli's.
Well, my parents watch the show, and they watch it on YouTube, and they're always wondering, well, where are these places located? If you could, I think Camp David is nearby.
Camp David is just basically about 2 miles as the crow flies from Thurmont. Right. So when you go west on Route 77, you go up to Park Central Road and turn right, you go up to the top of the mountain where all the signs say "Don't stop," no photography. That's very close to Camp David.
Wow. So have you seen any presidents walk the streets of the town of Thurmont?
When I was a kid, the Kennedys brought their kids down to an ice cream parlor in the middle of town. They were there a couple of times, I remember. I saw President Johnson at our, he belonged to Lutheran Church. He came to our Lutheran Church several times for services. Richard Nixon came to the Methodist Church. It used to be on North Church Street for services. Jimmy Carter was in town a few times. I've seen most of the presidents. I didn't see Donald Trump, and I didn't see Barack Obama in any of their visits to Thurmont. But we have seen a lot of presidents.
Helicopters.
Hear their helicopters, and we hear the jets flying around at night.
Fascinating.
So they just fly round and round.
Good. So any upcoming events in the near future in Thurmont?
Yeah, we have Christmas at Thurmont coming up, which will be on December the 7th this year. It's an all-day event. We're going to be holding it at the Guardian Host Company Fire Building this year. Okay. So it's going to be indoors. It's typically outdoors, but the weather we've had lately, we decided to do it indoors. And there's games for the kids. There's prizes for every kid that shows up gets a prize. Adults can apply for prizes. They have a little map. You have to go around to a bunch of businesses and get stamps to be qualified for the prizes for the adults. And there's free pictures with Santa Claus all day long. We're going to have the Gateway Brass Ensemble there. The high school band will be there. It's just a great day. It starts at 9 o'clock in the morning and wraps up about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And we get a lot of people out to that. There'll be 500 or 600 people there for the prize drawings.
So will you be a helper? Or
yes, I'm going to be a helper that day. Santa's asked me to help him again this year, so I will be there posing for pictures with children and dogs and cats and grandma and grandpa and all the kids. So it's always a pleasure to do that. We have a good time with that. And we provide free photographs of the event to all the families that come up.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to coming up and participating and all that fun. Yeah.
And we'll also have our second year for our train garden. The Frederick County Society of Model Engineers is setting up a large-scale train again at a building downtown. And we had a lot of people that last year. It'll be open on Saturday the 7th, and then every Saturday and Sunday, Saturdays from 10 to 4 and Sundays from noon to 4 up until the week before Christmas. So we invite everybody to come out and see that. It's a great train display. It's a lot of fun for the kids.
Yeah. Well, Thurmont is a wonderful community. It reminds me a lot of home. I often come up to your town meetings. And
we appreciate that.
Yes, and the people up there are very welcoming. And so you've done a great job with leading the community and your commissioners as well. And so just want to thank you for all the work that you do. And your honor, I wore my boots today and tried my best to, fit in. Okay, but it's been a joy working with you. I will talk a little bit about, what's coming up next for the show. But I just wanted you to know that I have enjoyed working with you and you coming into the show. I think you and I have, had some great conversations on this show, and thank you again for all you do.
And Roger, thank you. It's an honor to work in government with people like yourself. It's a great opportunity for us to grow and learn every time we meet each other and to serve our communities. And you also serve your community very well. And I appreciate your dedication and the time you've been with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, today I'm full of mixed emotions. I'm sad about the end of this chapter of my life, but also so excited for what tomorrow brings. My time as part of the Frederick County government has come to the end. It has been the most valuable experience in my professional life, full of exciting experiences and opportunities to see the lives of our citizens transformed by the work we have done. After 5 years, I know the name of all the county roads, the long-standing farms, and the families and traditions that have made Frederick County a wonderful place to live and work. It has been a joy and an honor to be woven into the fabric of this community. One of my favorite parts of my job has been filming my show All Around Town, which has been broadcast on FCG-TV, cable channel 19. Since I started the show 5 years ago, we've been able to introduce the 12 municipalities to the citizens of Frederick County on a truly personal level, and I really enjoy getting to know so many county leaders and calling them friends. I'd like to thank the county's video team for doing an awesome job and always making me look good. And to the viewers who tune in, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all around town.